Here for day 4 of Global Conclave on Digital India 2.0, Government Transforms with Emerging Technologies. On behalf of Center for Industry Relations and Industry Academy Asal, Aarupadai Veedu Institute of Technology, Vinayaka Mission Research Foundation, deemed to be university, I welcome all the members who are present here. A special welcome to Shri.Vijay Karunakaran, founder and CEO, TNQ InGage Technologies, for delivering his session on how emerging technology is shaping the future of higher education. We welcome you, sir. Thanks for accepting our invitation. And this is, I hope you said, as your third meeting for this Sunday on a busy schedule. Thanks for being with us. We have been honored and humbled as your right person for Digital India 2.0. And a special welcome to Sri Dinesh Ved Pathak, CEO, Skilling and Training, Automotive Component Manufacturer Association, ACMA India from Pune. Sir is going to join with us on 10th June 2020. Welcome, sir. I wholeheartedly welcome all the participants from various parts of India and various countries for this event, for all supporting and present here. And also welcome our principals, vice principals, faculty members, HODs, and unit heads of various institutions across India, and my dear colleagues from friends from industry sectors and students, research scholars. We have taken the theme Global Conclave on Digital India 2.0, which is the need of the hour. And this is day 4. Today we are having Vijay Karunakaran, sir. I am immensely happy to introduce Mr. Vijay Karunakaran. He is the founder and CEO of TNQ InGage Technologies, a company specializing in immersive technology solution using augmented reality and virtual reality for training and education, product visualization, maintenance, and prototyping across manufacturing, construction, and healthcare sectors. His research interests include integrating AI, haptics with AR and VR. He has a proven record of accomplishment of launching visually stunning and yet highly functional products by mastering the rare art of blending creativity and technology. Before founding InGage, Vijay was a director at Intel for 14 years, leading the automobile microprocessor design and validation division. Vijay is a true global citizen, having lived, worked, and traveled around the world throughout his life. In the past 25 years of his professional experience, he formed and led teams across multiple countries, including US, India, Germany, Israel, Singapore, Malaysia, China, and Costa Rica. Vijay has extensive research, industrial, and teaching experience in immersive technologies, augmented reality, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, mobile, advanced microprocessor design, cloud computing, and customer-centric experience. He is an industry expert and distinguished speaker in Industry 4.0 domain. He holds an MS in Electrical Engineering and an MBA from Duke University. He has taught and given guest lectures at various prestigious universities in US. A warm welcome to you, sir, on behalf of AVIT and Vinayaka Mission Research Foundation, deemed university. Lakshmi Mohan, sir, for your words. Our co-organizer.
Good evening to all. I'm proud to welcome my dear friend Vijay Karunakaran. He is man of technology. He is man of technology. He is very humble. He connected with some movies. Definitely, he will show that pictures and the videos. I don't want to say that important pictures and other technologies and all. I was being with him in 2013, I think so. From 2013, I have been interacting with him. He is man of knowledge. We are waiting for your session and get more knowledge from you, Vijay. I would like to thank Dinesh sir and participants from various states and other countries also.
Thank you, sir. Over to you, Vijay, sir.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Vijay. First and foremost, thank you very much, AVIT. Thank you very much, Dr. Vijay Babu. Thank you very much, Lakshmi Mohan, for the opportunity. I am truly humbled and honored to be able to present in front of this very wide audience. As I said, as I was introduced, I'm the founder CEO of TNQ InGage. We specialize in AR, VR, IoT, AI, and things around it for the construction, healthcare, and manufacturing industries. And before that, I was a director at Intel for 14 years. I was developing microprocessors, VLSI, and things around it. At the last 2 years part, I was the director for smartphones and tablets at Intel. So having said that, let's move on. And just to put things in perspective, education has been very, very close to my heart over the last 25 years. Even at Intel, where I was there, head of the smartphones and tablet division, I worked with various low middle income countries across the world in various programs in energizing and the overall education sector in various African countries in terms of getting the devices at the school and university level and delivering the content that's required. And I also had probably around 15 relationships with various universities across the US and Europe at that time, including Stanford, Harvard, and various universities where we had a lot of joint relationship, joint research programs that we were conducting in terms of university and industry relationship. So I've been part of it. And one thing that gets me excited is talking in front of the students. I think it's a beautiful thing, and I truly appreciate the opportunity. Having said that, I'm going to the next page. Okay, sorry. So what I'm going to do is today, I'm going to start with the higher education, the university. I'm going to talk in terms of two things: as a consumer of emerging technologies and as a creator of immersive technologies. Two things we'll talk about: how the industries, how the education is heading in this direction, and what are the key aspects of it. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to go a deep dive into the immersive technologies, and I'll take one particular sector. In this case, I'll take the health sector and talk deep into it. Having said that, I am going to play a video now. Dr. Vijay Babu, I'm hoping the screen sharing is good and people are able to look at the video in a much more clear way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. So in essence, what we saw in this video are emerging technologies, which would be the AI, a combination of machine learning and deep learning, blockchain, there was IoT, there was cloud computing, there was simulation, there was digital twins, and there was immersive technologies, which is AR, VR, and a combination. So if you look at it, no emerging technology can be worked as a silo. In most of the functionality in all the applications that you saw in various industries, and it's only a combination. So you cannot just do only one technology and say that, hey, I'm ready for the industry 4.0 or I'm ready for the emerging technologies. Whatever the sector it could be a university, it could be industry, doesn't matter. It has to be a combination of at least 2 or 3 more technologies that has to be integrated together to make the delivery functional. That is the whole idea. And as you all saw it, there is a tremendous amount of investment happening over the last few years and moving forward that will happen, that's going to surpass more than $1 trillion. Huge opportunity. And it's a little unfortunate that we have a pretty long ways as the Indian ecosystem to be ready to capitalize this opportunity. Those are the gaps that we have right now in terms of the Indian ecosystem to capitalize this new opportunity in terms of both a consumer and a creator of various applications. So if you look at it, right, whether it is the people-centric technology trends or a smart spaces technology trends, in terms of whether it's hyper automation, multi-experience. Hyper automation is nothing but automation, large-scale automation of the industrial functions. Multi-experience is nothing but augmented reality, virtual reality, and combination of various things. Democratization is nothing but making the technology easily accessible to everybody in a very, very simplistic way. Human augmentation is augmenting humans with technology in terms of IoT and wearables so that they become a lot more safer and smarter when they're out in the field. And definitely a governance and transparency is very important. These are the emerging technology trends that are more people-centric. Smart spaces are nothing but our workspace. It could be factory, it could be our home, any place that we work and connect and collaborate and deliver things. That is the smart spaces. In terms of smart spaces, the technologies are the edge computing, because you need to reduce the latency. Even though we have 5G, you need localized edge computing. That's the area where there is tremendous traction, especially when the next IoT devices. And definitely, instead of having a centralized cloud computing, there is a big demand and traction for a distributed computing. And drones, autonomous thing, you guys are very familiar, right? There's a huge traction there in terms of e-commerce and automation, and blockchain and AI security are very, very important. So that is the overall, the various technologies that's going to affect or affect in a positive way the way we live, the way we work, the way we collaborate, and that applies to every domain, whether it is higher education or is it any industry, because you cannot decouple industry and university. I think higher education has to be closely aligned to make them a lot more impactful when right in the industry. So that's the emerging technologies. Then the way I'm going to present today is the topic given to me is the role of emerging technologies in higher education. So the role of any technology has 2 parts. Either you are a consumer of the emerging technologies, the one we talked about, the AI, the IoT, and blockchain, or you are a creator. So first, let me talk about consumer. As a university, what we think is going to be the future trend, because we work with various industries in the skilling, right? In terms of training, simulation, we do a lot of work. Just before that, I want to give the current companies what we do. We work in the field services using augmented reality. How do you make a technician? A technician can be a mechanic, can be a surgeon. Whoever is out in the field to deliver the job, how do you make him a lot more smarter? How do you make him intelligent by giving him augmented reality, sort of helping out in doing things? So we deliver platforms, we deliver hardware to make the field services guys smarter and intelligent. That's one service we do. The other delivery we do is virtual reality. VR is primarily used for simulators. So VR as a simulator is a proven platform right from the last 15 years. All the pilots, before they get onto the actual plane, they go through a tremendous and exhaustive virtual reality simulation before they get onto the flight. So we also deliver VR-based simulator for skilling across various industries. It could be, we focus on construction, we focus on manufacturing, we focus on healthcare, and we also focus on publishing. TNQ, the parent company, the company TNQ, we are a 4,000 member organization, and we work in the science, technology, and medicine journals. So Mr. Ram, Ram of Hindu, so is in the board and is part of the Hindu group. So that's the overall idea. So that's the way we work. And as I mentioned earlier, first let's talk about the consumer of these technologies. Then we'll talk about the creation of these technologies. Now, we all know, we all been living and breathing this very difficult time for the last 3 months. Everybody is trying very hard to be as productive as possible, and definitely working from home, definitely virtual learning is not something is going to go away once the world gets better post-pandemic, right? So I think one of the few positive things that came out of this COVID that we are going through right now is suddenly people have lost their inhibitions. They have embraced digital technology. They have embraced virtual learning in a very, very fast way that is unprecedented. That is definitely is pushing the mankind in the right direction to be a lot more smarter, and at the same time, reduce the negative impact on the global pollution, so that we are a lot more carbon friendly, right? So that's definitely hence. So every industry is going through a major evolution. They are embracing the digital learning, they're embracing the virtual learning, and in terms of collaboration also. And that is also, and you guys are the experts in this area, but I'm going to give my 2 cents as to how the higher education, the universities are going to get impacted. So if you look at the last 3 months, most of the content delivery has been through video-based content delivery, right? You're talking about Zoom, you're talking about WebEx, those kind of platforms. They do deliver some sort of a collaboration, but it's definitely not immersive. It has definitely pluses. It also has negative minuses, especially in terms of able to engage every student. It's going to be hard because the need of every student is different. And I have talked to various university people across the world because we build VR platforms. I also talked to various schools. But one of the challenges they face is, yes, the cream, the 5-10 people who are engaged with the teachers, but the remaining people is very hard to track whether they are really listening to the lecture, or they're really learning, and hence, even though it's been very helpful, the current platform that we have, video-based learning platform, I don't think it's going to be sufficient as we move to the coming years. I think that has to be a tremendous amount of innovation that needs to happen. And we are already seeing that, and we are already delivering that in the industry. Large industries. It's only a matter of time that the higher education is also embracing it. At a very high level, this slide talks about how can you deliver a student-centric content where the student can learn through an online platform at his own pace and with his own learning objectives, because everybody learns in his own style. He has his own style and preferences. How do you do that? And technologies like artificial intelligence and chatbots and VR are going to play a huge part to deliver that next generation classroom 2.0 virtual learning content. As I said, a lot of industries are already we're already developing this for industries, and it's a matter of time before the universities also embrace it. Now, in terms of the delivery of the content, virtual learning, in addition to the video-based learning that we have, there is a lot of push in terms of micro-learning. Micro-learning is nothing but, instead of giving a big content as a delivery, because the attention span of students, we're looking at between 2 minutes to 3 minutes. So instead of giving a large lecture content, how can we deliver bit-sized content so that the consumption is a lot more impactful? That's called micro learning. And along with this, adaptive learning, where depending on the student's requirement and the profile and his preferences, how do you deliver a personalized content to that? Along with it, VR and AR are going to play a huge factor into the future virtual learning, where people are not just learning, they are immersed, they get to collaborate, they get to visualize 3D content in much more immersive way. And with the way the industry is heading in terms of haptic control, is just not only the visual. These learners, apart from the immersive visual, they're also able to have the other sensories like the touch, the sound, the smell, also integrated, so that you get a very close to real world. Now, so in terms of, so we talked about the consumer. In terms of creator, what is the role of the universities or the higher education in terms of creator of this emerging technologies? Though we could talk about way too many areas in terms of two things. One, our company expertise, my expertise, at the same time, for the lack of time, I'm going to focus on only AR, VR, AI, and IoT and things. And the cloud comes along with it. So this is the area I'm going to focus on as to how can the universities, apart from being just a consumer, how can they play a major role as a creator, as a developer, right? Which is very, very critical, right? And also working with the government and industry and enabling students to provide a huge gap in skill set that is required. If you look at China, just China alone in the last 2 years, they have created 5 immersive, that is AR VR technology parks, investing close to $6 billion. So their goal is this AR VR, they understand the huge potential and they want to be the leader. So I strongly urge all the people on the line to work with the government to make sure we have similar focus in India also. Okay, now before we get into the deep, what is AR VR? At a very, very, just a quick time check, 5:50. How much time do we have?
Sir, we have started by 5:25. You can go up to 6:15 or 6:30.
Okay. 6:15 or 6:30, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
I
sir.
have another 25 minutes.
Yes, sir.
All right, sounds good. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So, so AR, VR, MR, all this AR, VR combined, they call it as immersive technology or extended technology or XR. I'm going to quickly define what they are. AR stands, AR is delivered through a smartphone or AR glass. Is primarily used to overlay a digital content, a 3D content or a digital content in the real world. If you're reading a book about human anatomy, or if you're reading a book about engine, now if you point the phone or you look at the AR glass at the book, suddenly the holographic content, 3D content of the human anatomy or the engine or a turbine comes live in front of you, in which you're able to interact. Now, if you have multiple students who are in the same class and the teacher, all three can see the same 3D models. They could now learn, they could collaborate, they could annotate. That's very powerful. And that is where the industry is heading, and also is very useful for field service. If I'm doing a surgery, right? If I'm doing a debug, if I'm doing a debug of a rocket engine or just a normal engine, I need help, right? I need help. How can I? This AR can help me to give me a step-by-step instruction through 3D how to go fix it. So those kind of digital overlay, that's called augmented reality. So you can wear an AR glass and you always get to see the real world. Then your real world becomes augmented with the virtual world. That is AR. And Google Glass is nothing but AR glass, and Apple is going to deliver an AR glass next year. So there's an immense potential for AR. VR is nothing but virtual reality, where once you wear a VR headset, you're completely in a virtual world. You don't know what's happening around you. You could be out in the Mars exploring the land, or you could be out in scuba diving, or you could be in a factory assembling a gearbox along with 5 other workers virtually. Now with the haptic glass, we also get to feel the weight of the machines you are assembling. Very powerful. VR is primarily used for scaling, for training. Now, what MR does is, which is merged reality, apart from manipulating the just the virtual world in MR, you also get to manipulate the physical world. That means if you could, apart from just looking at the 3D models, if in case you want to, around your room, if you want to manipulate, you want to put a 3D scan depth, those kind of things, MR becomes very useful. And HoloLens by Microsoft and Magic Leap are the top 2 devices that deliver MR, which is called merged reality or a mixed reality. And now, what's so big deal, right? What's also a big deal about AR, VR? See, as an engineer, as a technologist, I worked at AMD for 4 years and with Intel for 14 years, or a period of 17, 18 years. I have gone through a major computing evolution, right from the fancy workstations, large, to a personal computer, to laptop, to smartphones. I have been part of this entire evolution, right? And I've seen pretty much every PC content that we have right now as a extension of a smartphone content. We also want a content to be developed and delivered on a smartphones also. So it becomes a mobile friendly or mobile first content. The same way you have a smartphone extension of your PC content, in the coming years, you will have a immersive extension of all the content. That means every content that we have right now in terms of design and whatever will have a augmented reality or virtual reality component. And every analyst, you look at it, whether it's McKinsey or you look at Accenture, every analyst, they are predicting that the industry is going to be around $120 to $160 billion over the next 6 years. And just to put things in perspective, that's larger than the PC market, right? That means it's going to create a tremendous demand for content development, for hardware, right? So that's the way the industry is heading, and it's booming, and lots of applications across various industries, healthcare, engineering. And I see that as industry embraces using it and money is getting spent, the universities have to supply the talent pool. So they have to do it. Right now, there is a lot of gap, but I hope that we'll head in the right direction. One of the challenge, or the key critical thing in terms of AR, VR is it's not the typical software. A typical software, you can just be a good engineer, be a good software guy and just develop. Or if you are a very creative guy, you could build 3D models, you could be an animation guy, you could be this. In AR, VR, you need to have the mindset, you need to have the skill set to blend the creativity and technology to to deliver products. That's the most important thing. And you need to understand hardware, you need to understand GPU, you need to understand creativity, you need to understand the engineering so that we put together a immersive solution. And that's a gap that we have in the current higher education, where people don't focus on the holistic approach. They focus on only the few areas, not look at the whole creativity and technology together. And so that's the area that we need to work on. So why it is so big deal? As I said, right, for the first time ever, AR/VR gives you an opportunity to have your content around you, not look at the screen. See, if you look at the screen, whether it is a laptop or a PC or a paper, you still look at from afar off. If you want to look closer, you zoom or you spin, wherein, right? And hence you could collaborate. That's a huge potential. And I think I've already gone through this. So I'm going to skip this slide. And as I said, if you look at the last 2-3 years, every large computing company in the world, whether it is Microsoft or Intel or Google or Facebook or Qualcomm, every computing company in the world over the last 3-4 years are investing billions and trillions of billions of dollars in the immersive computing, because that is the next way of how we're going to consume content, with some sort of a headset that we will be able to consume content. So that is the future, and hence every technology company is investing lots of money, and hence there will be a glass extension for every smartphone people buy, and Apple is going to deliver the AR glass next year, where that's going to probably push a mass adoption of this new technology. And these are the various VR devices I talked about. It could be wired, it could be wireless, Oculus, HTC, various technologies. And Aptic gloves, as a company, TNQ InGage, apart from delivering AR, VR, we're just not a software company. We also design, develop IoT hardware. We also design, deliver Aptic gloves, and we also use AI. So we give a fully functional platform for various industries by combining AI, IoT, AR, and VR. That is our strength. So I'm going to skip this slide, which talks about the benefit. If you look at it, what's so benefit of a VR compared to a general computing? So since to the sheer nature of being immersive, where you could immersively interact with the content, it is a very proven data by various universities across the world that a VR-based learning, the impactfulness, the stickiness is at least 80% more compared to a traditional video-based learning. And hence, every industry is embracing to have VR as the training platform, as the learning and development platform, compared to a traditional learning. And they are saving quite a bit of time and money and effort, because VR gives you a training platform very close to the real world, and the ROI is very proven. And there are platforms that got delivered in the last 2-3 months, where universities are using VR platform where students can log in into the VR platform, collaborate with students, and consume content, consume teaching content the way they want to do. And you could track it, they could collaborate with the teachers. It's a very growing, very interesting, very exciting technology, and it's going to see a lot of good innovation. So far we talked about the consumer. Now I'm going to switch gears and talk about as a creator, what should be the role of higher education? What should be the role of universities in the development or in the creation of this immersive technologies, right? So what I always advocate to people is have a functional center of excellence in the universities, not just put a lab there and give some curriculum, right? It should be an outcome-driven center of excellence where it is functional and it is not siloed. Because I have seen some AR/VR lab in few colleges, though probably it's around very handful in India, where they just teach only a small portion of it. They don't talk about integrating hardware. They don't talk about integrating functional things, what the industry needs. They don't talk about what kind of research, because every AR/VR innovation that happened in this world all happened from the universities. Oculus Rift, which is now Facebook bought them for $3 billion a few years back, was from the university in USC San Diego. So the universities across the world have played a huge role in the initial development. So I strongly urge the Indian universities to have a lot more research-oriented, a lot more industry partnership development COE, just not having a COE for the sake of having it, right? And create that interest, create those applications, and build that. And that's what I urge people from the university to do that, right? Because that is tremendous opportunity for talent pool. Hence, when the students come out of the college, definitely that is a huge requirement for those current talent pool. So I strongly urge universities to have a lot more meaningful center of excellence where they talk about curriculum, they talk about lab, they talk about industry relation, they talk about research, they have a longer vision. I already covered this. The key takeaway from the slide is that is a tremendous, if you look at the number of patents being filed in AR, VR, in XR, in IoT over the last years, it runs into thousands of new opportunities, new possibilities are happening, right? It's little, I really urge the universities to take an active role in this area. And as I said earlier, I want to re-emphasize the fact that there is a huge skill set gap in terms of supply and demand in terms of the all immersive technologies, right? And immersive just not AR, VR. You need to club it with AI and with IoT and with cloud computing, with edge computing. So it's just not a silo thing, right? So we need to have that sort of functional COEs at universities moving forward. I think I only went through this is just to re-emphasize. So interesting courses, interesting curriculum, interesting lab, functional lab, a lot of focus on research, a lot of focus on patent filing, a lot of focus on industry relationship, a lot of focus on development of content. I think that should be the key goals for the universities. And it works wonderful. I have done this for 15 years in the US. I would be more than happy if some universities or any institutions want my help to guide them, to mentor them. I'm more than happy to do that. So the key thing is they need to start investing now. That is a huge opportunity. And we don't want to lose that service opportunity to China, the R&D opportunity to China, other countries, because we had a PC or smartphone sort of a domination. And that domination, people acknowledge, China acknowledges India had it. Hence, they are looking at investing early and putting a lot of emphasis so that they can take that advantage, take that domination from India and keep it to themselves. Okay, so far I think I talked about in generic. So what I thought is, let me bring some relevance into this to focus on some key area. And since I saw that AVIT is part of the Vinayaka mission, and Vinayaka mission is very strong with healthcare and medical university, I thought let me focus on that. I want to take immersive technologies, AI and IoT, and show what is application in healthcare. That's what I'm going to spend time. And hopefully by doing that, it creates an interest, it creates an awareness among the people in this session so that they understand, hey, oh, wow, this is what, we could use it. Hence they put the right amount of focus right? Amount of associations, right? Amount of governing bodies, right? Amount of advisory boards to be, a lot more nimble and fast in pushing this in the right direction. So I'm going to play a video here. So,
Yes, please, Vijay. Sam.
Right now, we're inside a computer program.
Is it really so hard to believe?
This isn't real. Right now,
yes,
we're inside a computer program.
Lakshmi,
Is it really so hard to believe?
Yeah, we are seeing. Yeah.
You are seeing, right? 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. Let me play it again.
This isn't real.
Real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Somebody will appear on that rooftop and fire an RPG at your vehicle. Virtual reality exposure therapy is a method whereby you take somebody with an anxiety disorder and you gradually expose them to what they're afraid of. With post-traumatic stress disorder, we're taking people that have been traumatized and we're trying to help them to confront and process these difficult emotional experiences in a graduated way, at a pace they can handle. And if they stay with it long enough, because nothing really bad happens, eventually the anxiety starts to extinguish.
Fetal VR, you can see and understand complex fetal conditions by traveling inside the mother's body to engage with fetal patients up close.
Our VR simulation features two important congenital fetal conditions that we take care of at Stanford.
The first is twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome, a condition that affects identical twins while they're in the mother's uterus.
In TTTS, there's an imbalance that circulates to the fetuses within the mother's placenta. Our virtual reality experience lets you see how one twin will receive more blood than the other, which can cause problems with the fetal hearts and cause one twin's amniotic sac to swell, leaving the other twin with too little fluid to thrive.
Patients, families, and trainees can get an unprecedented view of the advanced surgical repair techniques we use, in which our surgeons the blood vessels where the imbalance originates.
All right, so I'm going to go here. So just few weeks back, NGM hospital in Chennai did a VR-based surgery. So what happened is one of a patient, an 11-year-old kid, for a heart transplant had come to India, and they have to attach some medical device to it, and there were complications to how to go about do the surgery. So what they did is, of course, with the help of industry like us, is they took the CT scan of the patient's heart and made it 3D in it through a VR, and they also built a 3D model of this. They could integrate it. So and after they proven this surgery, and the patient was a huge success. This happened 2 weeks back, right in Chennai. Just to put things in perspective. And what are the technologies that gone inside? There was a VR, there was an AR, there was an AI built inside. Every VR device, every VR content has, apart from VR, it has AI in terms of computer vision, AI in terms of post estimation, AI in terms of NLP, natural language processing. They're all part of it. Along with it, there is an IoT, there is a VLSI technology, there's a sensors. All things combined together make the whole functional, right? So that's the whole idea. And you know, why am I qualified to talk in this healthcare? I started working in VR in healthcare way back in 2002-3. We built a VR system for Washington Medical University, where we used it for pain management. A burn injury is one of the most painful injuries, especially when during the dressing and undressing. Instead of giving steroids, we along with the researchers, we built a VR system where the patient during the dressing process used VR so that he could forget pain instead of taking steroids. So a lot of, and this still continues in lots of hospitals where VR is being used for pain management. VR does rewire your brain and does help you in various positive implications, right? So this is a picture of that. So, you know, that's 2002. And if you look at the VR headset, looks so complex and things like that, but that's way back. Now the VR headset is a lot more lighter, cheaper, and more powerful, at least 10 times more powerful than the VR headset that we developed in 2002. So these are the areas where XR is AR, VR, AI, and IoT all combined together, right? So these are the areas where AR or the XR can have a positive impact. It could be stroke or the traumatic brain injuries. It could be alcoholism, autism, pain, addiction, ortho rehabilitation, neuro rehabilitation, lots and lots of areas where XR can play a huge part. So if you look at it, it comes under two areas. One is training for the medical professional, a nurse or medical doctors to learn his profession. VR is fantastic. It's also used by the patient because the medical companies, the pharma companies don't stop just after the surgery. They need to do a continuum recovery for the patient. And VR plays a huge part in terms of helping people to recover and rehabilitate themselves. So hence, it is going to become a part and parcel of the customer delivery, patient delivery. Okay, this is just an image that shows that how VR has evolved in terms of cost and performance over the years. Okay, quick search. Yes, so this shows that, you know, a lot of learnings that we had in both landline phone and TV and monitor are gone through the AR, VR. I've seen demos a few years back in the US where using contact lens. See, right now people think, yes, VR is a little bulky than what it's supposed to be, hence I cannot wear it beyond, you know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But trust me, in coming 1 year, 2 year, you will see a lot more lighter, just like a way you wear a normal glass. That's the way it's going to be. And Apple is going to start delivering AR glasses very, very soon. And eventually you will have the way you have a reading glass and a contact lens. You will have a contact lens for XR. You will have a glass for XR, depending on the requirement. And that will be the way by which you will be consuming content, whether you are buying things online or you're reading newspaper or learning your engineering material or you're working on engineering design. That's the way you're going to do design, through XR. Okay, this talks about, see, VR is not, as I said, it's just not new. It's been there for a long time, but it was very bulky hardware. Now the hardware and software has become a lot more nimble, faster. Hence, there is explosion. All right. So, all right. Okay. So These are the top applications of XR in healthcare. It's being used in pain management, medical training, as I said, surgery assist, which happened in Chennai just a month back with the MGM Hospital, and rehabilitation. We, as a company, we are very focused on rehabilitation. We are focused on the vision. We are partnered with various eye hospitals, including Shankar Netralaya, where we work in the low vision assessment and low vision rehabilitation. And we have written various articles in leading journals of the world, and we have gone through the clinical trials. And it's a combination of VR and haptics, and lots of AI is involved in it. So then we are right now working on various ortho and neuro rehabilitation. And I'm very passionate when it comes to stroke rehabilitation. So we are working on products in the space that is a combination of edge computing, mobile computing, VR, and haptics or the IoT along with and other AI networks. I'm going to skip this slide. What this shows is, right, AI and along with AR glass, it's going to completely, it can recognize anything you want to recognize, right? It will be a handy tool for the visually challenged people when they wear a glass and walk around. It can see, it can be their eye, it can detect depth, it can reconstruct for you, it can recognize objects, it can track, it can do a whole lot of stuff that human brain. So the entire intelligence of an AI can be embedded into the glass, and that can be your tool, the way you look at the world, the way you interact with the world. And hence there is tons of opportunities in healthcare, and hence a good focus in these areas, in addition to the industries, can be something that the universities can look into and build a infrastructure, build a strength in those areas. And as I said, this is what we do in healthcare. We are building products for the rehabilitation, and it's done using a combination of headsets, haptic gloves. Everything is built in-house. Everything is built in India, using the suppliers, using the vendors in India. So it's a very interesting area. And if some university is interested to get the students to come and visit our lab or do some collaboration, I'd be more than happy on a case-to-case basis, depending on the interest. All right, and I'm going to skip all these things for time because we are 6:20. This concludes the presentation of the role of emerging technologies focused on XR, AI, and IoT in higher education, and I took healthcare as a example industry, right? So this concludes my presentation. Dr. Vijender Babu and Professor Lakshmi Mohammed, if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer right now.
Thank you, Vijay sir. It was an eye-opening session for all of us. We heard about AR, VR, and few XR, but with respect to combination and with respect to application in medical field, it was a new session for all of us to think as an out-of-box thinking, like what will be the future, what line we should be thinking of development areas. And as we are given us an eye-opening session to collaborate with you, we will be happy to collaborate with you, setting up the lab, not in the names of namesake, as you said. It is going to be a research-oriented and product development and implementation for society beneficial. As you rightly covered about all these Google glasses, we have heard about third eye. In future, it will become the fourth eye, I think so. Apart from us, there will be somebody is watching. So it is going to be an. You also explained about this business and market trends and huge investments. Looked over it. We have been thrilled, and it was a wonderful session. And the title suits our about the Digital India 2.0, and your area of coverage was wonderful. Thanks for your extraordinary session with your videos and explanation. And there are a few questions for us, sir. I have a basic question, sir. We had been looking about online teaching, virtual classrooms, like experimental based learning, like project based learning. Now, using these virtual tools, this is going to play a major role in, like you say, paradigm shift in higher education, we can say. So this is going to be the future where the students or the future educators or will be having a thrill to take it over. So there will be some few challenges in implementation. Apart from this, what do you say about this cost effectiveness involved in it, sir, actually, for a general public usage or for the institution wise or the university?
So, yeah, so the way I tell people is VR technology, right,
yes, sir,
is as cost effective as any video based learning. That is a general, this was not the case some 3-4 years back, right? It was at least 2 times or 3 times expensive. In the last 1 year, the cost of the hardware, the cost of content development and the ease of development has tremendously reduced, because you need this to build an ecosystem, to make things affordable. So hence, it's not matter of cost, it is cost effective. It's matter of putting the right focus, thinking through the design as to how you want it, right? To answer your question, it is cost effective. Maybe you may have to spend a little bit more in the beginning because there is some sort of a hardware involved. But if you look at the total cost of ownership, the impact, the ROI, if you look at the 3-year in a horizon, it is definitely a lot more impactful, a lot more cost effective compared to a normal video-based learning.
Okay, sir. Wonderful, wonderful, sir. And next general question on behalf of our faculty members who are attending here. We come across the disruptive technologies. Even AICT has governed or advised to look it over the emerging technology courses like AI, machine learning, or cyber security. These are the areas where the new courses are introduced by AICT. Every universities or engineering college looking over it. What will be the advice to the faculty members and students to focus on the future, next 3-4 years? Which area?
Yeah, so I have been working with lately in the last 6 months with various bodies that are involved in the curriculum setting, right? With the MHA. I've been already involved. I've been part of the think tank that's looking into it. Though I wish it was moving faster, right? But in terms of that, so what to quickly address your question, right? You need to have a very integrated approach. Once you put a silo saying that, hey, it's going to be only AR, it's going to be only AR, it's going to get very hard, right? So you need to make it as a industry focus, for example, a healthcare lab, right? So I have been to various media labs across the world, including MIT. We collaborated very, very closely. It's all driven by the vertical, driven by the applications, right? And the students and the professors bring in AI, bring in AR, bring in VR, bring in subject matter expertise to come together to collaborate and design things. So instead of just focusing only on the technology like AR or VR or AI, look at the end application, look at the usefulness, look at the large impact it can have on the society, and see what are the technologies that can be used to deliver that. And I can assure you the key technology that you'll be using is definitely the IoT, the cloud edge computing, digital twins, and a combination of AR or VR.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And we wish to know about what are the collaboration opportunities, like any opportunity for students to getting into internships or opportunity to get foreign projects.
Yeah, I said on a case-to-case basis. Okay. See, if it's done correctly, I'm more than happy. I do get a lot of calls from students on a monthly basis where they say, sir, I give you some money. Can you do a project on AR, VR for me, right? Those things all very, very bad, right? If that is a structured way of doing things where we collaborate with the university and we have some long-term vision, research-oriented, development-oriented, definitely internship is definitely very welcome. We always hire interns at any point of time. We always hire, because there is no university that delivers, engineers for our domain. We hire freshers, or we hire people with 1-2 years experience or large, and we train them, right? So if there's a suitable university that comes on board who have a like-minded approach to it, more than happy to collaborate.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. As we belong to a medical technology university, we wish to collaborate soon. Once the lockdown period lifts up, we request you to visit our campus for future collaborations. Thank you, sir. Wonderful sessions. Thank you, sir. I think we can
sir, Dr. Vijay Babu, sir. Already
Yes,
I requested and I invited.
wonderful.
After the lockdown, he will come definitely.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for making it happen, Lakshmi, sir. It's because of you.
It was
Thank
awesome.
you, Lakshmi Bogan.
Yeah, with pleasure, Vijay. It was a great pleasure, and it was an awesome session, information session for us, especially medical engineering.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, Vijay, and the participants.
Dear participants, kindly post your questions in the chat box. If there is any questions, we can able to discuss with sir. Sir, what would be the challenges in implementing, sir, actually, for implementations? You have covered almost all these benefits and all those things.
Yeah. So implementation is, you need to have the knowledge, you need to have the analytical skills, right? It's a multidisciplinary development. People should not come with the mindset that, hey, I know one language, hence I'll go develop this, right? Because since we are building this for a particular application, there's a lot of research needs to be done. They need to wear multiple hats. So people with the multidisciplinary approach, they shine well, right? My engineers, can talk to doctors, understand the medical terms. They can talk to so that kind of, mindset is very, very important. Analytical mindset is very important. It's definitely it's not meant for an average Joe, right? It's not meant for an average Joe who just want to do some job, right? You need to be interested, but in the initial years. But I'm telling you, in 2-3 years, once the platforms are built, there will be opportunity for everybody, right?
Wonderful.
So right now, we need people who are smart, people who can take challenges, who are creative, who have the savviness to combine creativity and technology together. Also, talk to the subject matter experts also.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful, sir. Thanks for your answer, sir. Dear participants, any questions we can able to reach, sir?
Gifted day for us. Those who are not attending, they are the losers.
Dr. Vijendra Babu, this is Dinesh Vedpatak.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome, sir.
So I have not a direct question, but we can, Vijayji, I was very impressed. We are meeting for the first time. I head the ACMA skilling and training division. And we do have a center of excellence in Sonipat, where IIT Delhi's technology campus is there. And today we have a well-placed mechatronics lab and design lab with 3D scanner. And we are quite interested for the industry 4.0. There are a lot of confusions. In fact, tomorrow on 10th, I am presenting. You can see what is the automotive sector perspective on industry 4.0. And I have 2 points for you that we can meet and discuss separately off the line. And the second is that we have a program, we are designing a program for the students who passes from the engineering colleges, but they will not go to the training company directly, but we will give the appropriate training and we will make the students industry ready, because there is a dispute between the So I think you can help us by establishing these are the topics. Quality wise, productive wise, manufacturing sector we are capable. I think from your perspective, your area, you can support us to design the syllabus. So that was my request.
Absolutely. We just delivered a center of excellence for Mahindra late last year. And that center of excellence with the design lab won the international best award in the world for best COE.
Yeah, very good. So we'll collaborate shortly. I have noted
Absolutely.
down your email and mobile. So I will also share my address to you. No problem.
Please do, Dinesh.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, there is a question from Dina Shekhar, sir. I think, sir, you can unmute yourself. Post, I think, Mr. Dina Shekhar, sir. Will you please present for auto industries? There is a question.
Oh yeah, auto is my very close to my heart. We work with all the auto industry in India. We work with TAFE, we work with Ashok Leyland, we work with Royal Enfield, we work with Mahindra.
Oh, wonderful.
Right. So yes, definitely we could do it for auto.
Sure. Thank you.
Sure.
And many suggestions of what I think. The session is very good, but it's too short. We are expecting more. That was the time limit which we are having. So many participants are that is general questions. Very informative, very wonderful presentations, videos. More appreciations are poured in the chat box. And
Yeah, we could do per sector. I could do more. We could get to the details depending on the audience. We could get to the details on what are the AI stack, AI software we're using, how people can learn those areas in terms of AI or IoT, right? So we could get to the details. I'm not sure everything can be done online, but we need some more, my architects, my engineers to be on board. We could discuss it. Absolutely.
Sure.
And healthcare is the area that we are heavily focused also.
Wonderful, sir. V2, sir, from our university, recently we are released a robo, V2 Buddy.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that, buddy.
Yes, sir. Which was.
I went to college in Salem, so I'm quite familiar with Vinayaka mission.
Super, sir. So the medical technology, we are happy to collaborate with you, sir.
Yep, absolutely. More than be happy to do that.
Yes, sir. So once again, thank you, sir. Wonderful thanks for all on behalf of all our participants across India and over the globe for your wonderful session. Very informative and eye-opening on the futuristic technologies for educators, future technology. It's a good collaboration under Digital India 2.0. A big salute to hats off to you to make us to be thrilled on a weekend Sunday. We can see many questions and many information shared. The pandemic situation has made us to more dynamic and, as you say, embracing technology. Learn, unlearn, relearn. It's the only mantra which we should look it over. We are very happy. We are able to connect with you for a wonderful opportunity. On behalf of Vinayaka Mission Research Foundation, Aarupadai Veedu Institute of Technology, and on all behalf, we thank you for your wonderful presence, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dinesh Pathak, sir. Thank you, Mr. Dina Shekhar, sir, and all the participants across the globe.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dinesh, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I thank all the HOD.
Vijay,
Yes.
Yeah, Vijay, we are expecting you in our campus soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Dear participants, kindly fill the feedback and submit it. And tomorrow, Karthikeyan, tomorrow we are having two eminent speakers. Shri Arun, Head Operations, Lavazza, Italy, is going to deliver on Digital Trends Reshaping. It is by Malini Madam, Digital Trends Reshaping the Media Industry. And Malini Srinivasan, DGM HR, is going to discuss about the challenges in the food and beverage industry. We expect you to be participating in these two sessions by tomorrow at 5:15 p.m. Next, Karthikeyan. And on behalf of AVIT, Aarupadai Veedu Institute of Technology, we are conducting a career guidance program. It was inaugurated by Erode Magesh, the famous Vijay TV fame today, for all the +2 students. And on day 2, tomorrow, we will be having a session on artificial intelligence, machine learning, cyber security. Can you zoom it, Karthikeyan? It is on cyber security as per career option. Ms. Patnathil Danya Menon Madam is famous for cybercrime investigator. It is really covered on cyber security. Madam is addressing on cyber security. And Mr. Karunanidhi Mishra, Senior Automation Specialist, HCL, is going to address on artificial intelligence and data science emerging area at tomorrow 6:45 p.m. This event is being shared. We will share all those details to you. On day 3, it is on biotechnology. Pharmaceutical Engineering and Biotechnology New Hope by Mr. S.S. Arun Prasanna, Technical Manager, Polar Analytical Private Limited, Chennai, and Mr. L. Sundarmurthy, Proprietor, LS Control System, Bangalore, will address on Step Up with the Transform with EEE. This is on 9th June, 6:45 to 7:45, and on day 4, at Career Guidance Program for Higher Education 2020, Mr. K. Venkatraman, Managing Partner, Biovision Medical System, Chennai, is going to address on why to pursue biomedical engineering, followed by Dr. A. Atif Shah, Managing Director, ABE Semiconductor Design, is going to address on excel your career in ECE on 10th June 2020 during 6:45 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. On day 5, it's by Mr. S. Rajeshekaran, Managing Director, Infant Engineers Private Limited, Chennai. We're going to address on why to join in mechanical engineering, followed by Mr. M. Thirumalai Kumar, Engineering Manager, L&T Limited, Chennai, on trends in civil engineering on 11th June 2020 between 6:45 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. Then on day 6 of Career Guidance Program, Mr. Venkatesh Narayanaswamy, Founder, Innovative and Training Services Limited, is going to address on opportunities ahead in the field of engineering, the nutshell of the placement opportunities and what is the futuristic jobs, how the students going to take over all those challenging jobs offered by AVIT. And it is followed by Professor M. Lakshmi Mohan, Head Center for Industrial Relationship, AVIT VMRF, is going to address on training placement and internship opportunities. Is one of the organizers of this Global Conclave on Digital India 2.0 on 12th June 2020, 6:45 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. On the last day, on day 7, it's going to be an motivational session by Ms. Usha Ishwaran, CEO, on the title Success Mantra for all the students to go get it more motivated on 13 June 2020 between 6:45 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. I request all the participants to share these details to the students who have completed +2, to the parents who are looking for a better opportunity in better college. We at AVIT offer disruptive courses, new courses, artificial intelligence, data science, cyber security, pharmaceutical engineering, apart from the traditional courses of mechanical, civil, EEE, ECE, biomedical, and all the courses of existing technologies. And we are offering B architecture and MBA programs also there. We are approved by AICT, accredited by NBA. So I request you to visit our website, www.avit.ac.in. I request all the panel members to attend the future sessions also. Tomorrow, the session is scheduled at the same 5:15 p.m. Thank you and all those who are present here. Thank you. Thank you. Lakshmi Mohan sir, anything to be added, sir?
I think Sir has left, sir.
Oh, okay. I think the network issues, I think so. Thank you all. Thanks for the participation. Submit the feedback link. Thank you.